Before you get started, I just want to let you know that there are 24 rows in total. I did a series of X stitches and double crochet. There's one long strap that crisscrosses in the back, and I tied around the front. You don't have to tie it around the front. You can tie it around the back, but that's just how I like it. And let's see here. If you don't want this same striping pattern, I did 9 rows of black, 7 rows of yellow, 5 rows of green, and 3 rows, I'm sorry, this is red. 5 rows of red and 3 rows of green. So if there's 24 rows altogether, do the math. What is that, like 8 times 4? So you could do 8 rows if you want it evenly. Or you can just do all one solid color, but just giving you the options and just letting you know. I hope you love the tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post it below. All right? Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I have been wanting to make a YouTube tutorial for some time, but I couldn't figure out what to do. So I need to make another Juneteenth top, so welcome back. I have my size 6mm crochet hook. I have red, a yellow, and this one is a varsity gold. So it's not quite like a bright yellow. I have black, and then I have leftover green. I have a lot of green from Christmas time. So Juneteenth colors are actually red, white, and blue if you look at the traditional Juneteenth flag. However, different places have made their own version, and usually it incorporates these colors. And a lot of these colors come from a combination of African nations. I did do my research on this. I also really like these colors together. So I made a top, was it last year? Don't ask why I can't find it to wear it for the video today, because it said no thank you. So we're gonna make a top inspired by that today. Let's begin. We are going to make a chainless foundation double crochet. So you're gonna chain 1, 2, 3. You're gonna yarn over. You're gonna go into this loop, and essentially you're gonna go, the V is gonna be on the bottom. You're going to top. So 1 piece of yarn should be at the top, 2 should be at the bottom. Yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3. So that is your double crochet and your chainless foundation. Yarn over, you're going to now go into the top 2. So you're going to go, the V is on top, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the 2. I might have said 3 the last time. That's not what I meant. So I'm going to show you one more time. So yarn over, go through the top. It should be a little V here. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through the 1. Yarn over, pull through the 2. Yarn over, pull through the 2. So you can start to see your double crochet chainless foundation, and you're going to make enough of these to go around and give yourself as much coverage as you like. If you would like to have a little less coverage here, you can stop your top here, but we're going to try to have a full coverage top, so we're going to kind of go back here. I also forgot to mention you want to do an even amount for the pattern that I'm going to do. So right now I did 46, so you see where it ends on either side, and that first chain 3 is going to count as one of them. So now that I have the 46, you're going to chain 1. You're going to turn around for the second, chain 2. That's just how I like to do it. You can do it any way you like. Okay, for this pattern, we're going to do a series of X's. So you're going to yarn over. You're going to skip the next stitch and go into the next one. You're going to do a double crochet, and then you're going to yarn over and go back in the one that you skipped and do a double crochet, and that is going to be our X stitch. So once again, you're going to skip the next one, do a double crochet, and then double crochet behind it. And you start to see these X's form. Skip the next one, double crochet. No, your hook should not be coming out that way. So you're going to continue down the row, and you can see the X stitch is starting to form. And just to give you a size reference, I wear a size small medium, and I'm a size A B cup, so relatively small, just to give you an idea of what the 46 double crochets, what size that's going to fit. So if you need to add a few more, make sure you add them, and make sure you add them evenly in order to fit you comfortably. Okay, so now we're at the end of the row. You should have 3 double crochets left. You're going to skip that stitch like you've been doing, double crochet, go back in that last one, double crochet, and then the end of the row should be a double crochet, and that was your original chain 3. So the way this pattern is going to work up, you're going to chain 1, turn, chain 2. You can do your double crochet at the beginning of the row, whatever way you want. I know a lot of people do chain 3. I've never liked chain 3. If you watch my tutorials before, I don't like chain 3. And I always chain 1, turn, and chain the second one, because when you get to the end of the row, it makes it easier to catch that V-stitch. So that's just my preference. You do whatever way you feel comfortable. So this row is just going to be a row of double crochets. And the reason why I like this, it gives a little bit more coverage, and then it makes the row of X stitches pop. If you wanted to do all X stitches, that is up to you as well. So now I have done 3 rows, a row of double crochet, X stitches, double crochet. And when you hold it up against your body, you can see where it's at right now. So I'm going to want to do about this much coverage before I start decreasing, kind of like the top I'm wearing now. Now, if your top was all the same color, it wouldn't really matter what I'm about to say next. But since we are going to change colors, the amount of rows that you do will give you the amount of color changes that you want. So for example, if I'm doing 40 rows, you're going to do 10 of black, 10 of red, 10 of yellow, 10 of green. If you're going to do 50, then you're going to do what's that, like 12? Okay, the math off the fly is crazy. But what I'm basically saying is you want your rows to be even. So if you decide to do additional rows outside this pattern, make sure you keep that in mind when you change the colors. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm going to continue to make this top, and then when it's time to change colors, I will come back. Welcome back. So I have crocheted 8 rows of our double crochet X pattern. So now I am on row 9. This is where I'm going to start to decrease, because I want to decrease on the double crochet rows. It's just easier that way. You can crochet decrease on the X rows if you like. So we're going to do our chain 2. So for the next stitch, we're going to skip it as if we're doing the X. We're just skipping this whole stitch, and we're going to just do a double crochet, and then you're just going to double crochet all the way until you get to the end. And then the second to last row, I'm sorry, the second to last stitch, you're going to skip that, and then you're going to go into the last stitch accordingly. So we are getting to the end of the row. Now you're going to do 2 things at the end of this row. So I'm actually going to switch into my other color, which is going to be, what color do I want to switch into? You can actually do whatever color row you would like, but let's get to the end first. So you're going to skip this 1 stitch, and you're going to go into that last one, and you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. Now for me, I actually like to color change this way. You could really do whatever color you like. So I'm at the end, I pulled through 2, and I have 2 more to go. I'm going to change my colors. Now typically I would probably put the green next, but since I only have a little bit left, we're going to save that to the end when we start to decrease, and you know, you don't need as much yarn. So in that case, I'm actually going to do, let's see, I think I'm going to do the yellow next. Okay. So while I still have the last 2 chains on the hook, I'm going to leave a good amount of string to weave in, and you're just going to take it and put your finger here and pull through those last 2. So now you have successfully changed your next color, and you're going to chain 1, flip it, and chain 2. You can change colors whatever way you like, but I find that this is the best method for me. So for this row, you're just going to do a row of the X stitches. There's going to be no decreases on the X stitch rows, only on the rows that you do the double crochet. And I did 9 rows of black. So I'm showing you how this pattern is working up so far. So you put it next to your body. This is how much is covering, and we just started the decrease in the rows. You're going to continue to do this pattern. So I'm going to do a row of the X stitches, and then I'm going to do a row of the double crochet, and that's when I will decrease at the beginning and the end, and you're going to repeat this. So once again, on the row of the double crochets, you're going to skip the next stitch and just go right in to the top of that X, and that is going to be your decrease at the beginning. You're going to go all the way down the row, And then once you get to the second to last chain, it's so funny, once I press record, I start messing up. But once you get to the end, the second to last chain, you're going to skip, and then you're just going to go straight into the end with a double crochet. And then you're going to do a row of X stitches. So right now, this is what it's looking like. And I actually want a little bit more of a decrease. So I am currently on row 6. I'm actually going to start decreasing on every row. So this is where it's at right now. The decrease in the X stitch is going to be the same way as the decrease in a double crochet. So you're actually going to skip 1, 2 this time, and you're going to go into the third, and then you're going to go back, and you're just skipping this 1 stitch essentially. So you're going to do your X stitches all the way down. Once you get down to the end of the row, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. And it already maps itself out because it's evenly down the row. So what you do on one side is going to happen on the other side. So you're going to do your last X stitch, and it really sets it up for you. You really have that one that you're going to skip, and you're going to go into the last stitch. It's like the one thing I really love about this pattern. Oh, don't do what I did. You're actually changing colors because this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 7. So with the pattern now, you're going to yarn over, chain through the 2, and you're going to go grab your next color. I am choosing red as my next color, giving myself a good amount of tail to weave in for later and pull through. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to skip the next one, and you're going to continue to do this decrease all the way down. So we're at the end of the first row of red. You're going to skip the 1 stitch and go into the last one, and then you're going to chain 1, chain 2. Remember, you're going to skip 2 stitches, go into the third one, and then go back into that one before and do your X stitch, and then you're going to have your decrease there, because we are now decreasing on every row to get more of a haltered V shape. Okay, we are at the end of row 5, so ready for another color change. And I'm going to show you what it looks like before I change into the last color. So this is where we're at right now. Personally, I like these 3 colors together, so I might have to make another crop top with these 3 colors. But we are going to yarn over, do the 2, and then we're going to find the end of the green. The green is doing its own thing. Leave enough, pull through, chain 1, chain 2. Okay, and we're just going to continue to decrease. So I left off on a row of double crochets, so now we're going to do a row of the X stitches decreased, and we're only going to do 3 of these. So once we get to the last on the 3rd row, I will let you know what we do next. Okay, so we're now at the end of the top. You can do a couple of different things. You could first not do the colors that I did the way I did it, but now this is where I like to do a border. If you don't want to do a border, you can add your straps, chain how much you want around the neck, and you know, you're done. Or you could do it in black. I'm going to do it in green because green is the least amount of color that we have right now, and that's the color that I want to do it. Okay, so we're at the end of the row. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do a half double crochet all the way around, and you're just kind of going to find the little V spots that fit in comfortably where your hook go into. And every time I say about doing borders, this is just something that comes along with time, that you just see that there's little stitches, like phantom stitches, that make sense where your hook goes into, like down along the side. So another thing you can do while we're doing this, we can start to, I'm actually going to take out one. You can start to weave in your ends as well. So I like to gently pull them, make a tie like so, and make another tie like a little knot. I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm going to go back through there, and now I'm going to grab where this knot is. We're going to crochet right over top of that one, and then we're gonna crochet over there, and then we're gonna weave that in later. I'm not a big fan of weaving in ends, so we can weave and go. And this is what it's looking like down the side. I got down to the first corner, so I made 2 chains, and then I went into the bottom of the row to continue our border. You can also make a long chain on either side of the bottom if you want the strap to go around like that, or you can do like I'm doing, which is going to be 2 straps at the top that's going to crisscross on your back, loop in here, and then tie. And once we get to the end, we are going to do our chain 2. So we're in at the bottom, did the last stitch, 1, 2, and then we're just going to come pick right back up on the side there, and then just continue to go up the side. You will notice that going up the side is going to be a little bit different feeling than going down the other side. So just be careful not to make it bunchy, and just make it feel nice and even when you are sticking your yarn in to do the border. Then when we get to the top, you're going to make a chain long enough that's going to go across your back, go into the loop, and tie around your back. We've gone all the way around the top, and we're back. So at the very tippy corner, before you even go in here, you're going to make a chain. I made a chain of 120. That's going to be long enough to go down my back, crisscross, go into this corner right here, and then tie again in the back. So you make as many chains as you need, but 120 was more than enough. I probably could have got away with 100. So once you get to the end, don't drop your piece onto the floor. Come on. Didn't make it all the way down. Okay, good. You are going to then go back on that chain, with a slip stitch. So you're going to slip stitch all the way down till you get to the back of the row. So now that we went back on our chain, we are at the top of the row, and you are just going to do a slip stitch all the way across the row until you get to the other corner, in which you do another 120 stitches, and then come back on that row with a slip stitch, and then at the end you're going to do a single crochet to join, and you're good to go. And I'll show you that last little piece. Okay, we're getting down to the last few, and what I was saying earlier was you're slip stitching, you slip stitch into the last, and then you literally just slip stitch into there, pull up, get your scissors, pull up, weave in, and you're done. Okay, just showing you what the top looks like, crisscrossed in the back. And if your strings are long enough, you can actually tie it right back around to the front, and ta-da! Okay, thank you everyone for joining me. Wow, that mannequin scared me. I know she's there, but sometimes she scares me. Thank you everyone for joining me for this crochet tutorial. Hit a thumbs up, comment below. I know it was a roller coaster ride, but thank you for joining me. I will put a description of the top in the bio, so yeah. Thank you. Have a good day, y'all.